B'Shem Hashem Naaseh V'Natzliach. We continue with Hilchot Pesach, brought in Sefer Ben Ishchai Alav Shalom. Rabbeinu Yosef Chaim in Baghdad explains in Parashat Tzav of the first year. Right, this halakha is halakha tet. This shiur is dedicated for Hastacha, Ilui Neshama, Refuah Shelema, and that all the soulmates among Am Yisrael should find their soulmate. All the singers should find their soulmate B'Shar Tova Mustachad. This shiur is specially dedicated for Ilui Nishmat
Benyamin ben Yehoshua Nikpor ben Farajullah.
Ruach Hashem Tinechena Megan Eden.
Amen.
Mi sheyeshno chametz bechanuto, a person who has chametz in his store, ve'i efshal lefanuto mechanuto lemachro legoy, and it is impossible for him to remove it from his house, from his store, to sell it to a goy. Sarich lemachro be'odo bechanuto legoy. Right? You cannot take it and sell it to the goy. Okay.
Wait.
While this chametz in your store, you need to sell it to the goy. You need to sell it to the goy. You need to sell it to the non-Jew. Yes.
You just said it's impossible to sell it to the goy. The chametz, it's impossible.
It's impossible to remove it from your store. You have the chametz. Maybe it's big. Maybe. Apparently, Harav Ben Ishchai teaching us, the best would be to take it to the goy and give it to him. Tell him, here is all yours.
Isn't that removing it?
So he cannot remove it. He cannot sell it to the goy. Right?
Oh, so give
He
it
is
to
not
him.
Making business. Right? He cannot. One cannot own chametz on Pesach. So he cannot remove it to sell it to the goy.
Right. So
that it should not be in his premises.
He says he has to give it to him.
He needs to sell it to him, even though that it is in his store. Now he's going to explain how.
Okay.
Right? She'yekabel min hanochlim ma'ot vayomer lo. Right? So he needs to accept money from the goy. Right? Vayomer lo, and he needs to tell him straight. Shehu mocher lo kol hachametz peloni sheyesh lo bechanuto. That he needs to be clear that he is telling the goy, I'm sending you all the chametz that I have in my store, and he really needs to get money for that. V'gam hu mocher kol hakelim shemunach bahem hachametz, and also all those containers that the chametz is in it, he needs to sell it to the goy. Ki hechi delo leheve kechelav shel mocher b'shot loqeyach delo gana. It should not be considered that since these chametz is in the keli, is in the container, so the container causing the owner to owe back these chametz. So he sells the chametz with the container to the goy. This way he has nothing to do with this chametz. Right? Ve'im sorolo kol hamaftechot shel achanut, and he needs to give to the goy all the keys that he has to his store to the goy. Vayomer lo beferush, and he needs to tell him shehu moser lo hamaftechot kedei sheikanes lechanot bechol et sheirse v'yaseh bechametz shebetocho kechevso ursono. Right? And he needs to give him the key and tell him, you are allowed to come to my premises, to my store, and take the chametz that you purchased anytime you want, anywhere you like. Now these days we don't do like this, right? What is common these days is that you sell your chametz, right, through your to the Rav of the community, and that the Rav, using few methods of selling the chametz, sells your chametz, even though that the chametz is in your store or is at your home. You don't need to sell your kelim, right? And apparently with this way that they do it, whenever the non-Jew comes and pay for the chametz that he accepted to purchase, right, and upon paying could go with the Rav, right, and have access to the chametz that he purchased. So there is no transfer of keys either. Right? That this way, right, he is really, right, gave over the access to the chametz to the non-Jew, right, that nothing is stopping him. Apparently this is the best way to do it, but these days, how can you trust giving your keys, right, to someone, the keys to your store? It's very hard to do it. ومیهو عدیف تفه شلو یعصه درخ مخیرا. Now Harab Ben Ishchal of Shalom is teaching us a big chidush. The chidush is...
What does chidush mean?
Chidush means, thank you for asking, chidush means something new that we were not aware of. Right? That is better not to sell your chametz to the goy. Right? Not to sell it. Why? Because maybe you didn't sell it professionally. Right? We're not talking about the rabbis selling the chametz. Back then in Baghdad, apparently they sold it to the goy themselves. Right? So don't sell it to the goy. What do you need to do? Use the ella derech matana, gift it to him. What does that mean? Sheitan be matana gemura ushelema et hachametz ve et hakelim shemunach bahem lenochri veimsol lo hamaftechot shel et hachanot kedei sheyelech hanochri veyaseh bechametz כחפצו ורצונו מפני שדרך המתנה היא יותר נכונה למכריעה אינה עושה כתיקונה. So you give all the chametz that you have as a gift to the goy, and if the goy wants, comes and takes it, and also you need to give the keys to him as well, because what kind of matana is this if the goy, right, cannot come and use it on Pesach, and Passover? So you need to give the keys to him as well. This needs to be done, right, in the morning of 14th of Nisan. Immediately after morning prayers, Shacharit. Kedei shelo yishkach machmat tivda. You do it immediately because you don't want to forget. You're too busy. Pesach Eve is so much things to do, the Erev Pesach. So do it immediately after Shacharit. You cannot do it before Shacharit, because before Shacharit one cannot do mundane things, right? One needs to come pray first and then do other things that he needs to do during the day, right?
This is the Shacharit before Passover, obviously.
Yes, this is the eve of Passover.
Can you do it after the Shacharit 2 days before the eve of Passover, just to be safe?
Yes, there are ways to do it. One could do it sooner, yes.
Just to be safe. Yeah.
Yes. Even though that the goy would return him everything back after Pesach. And the goy is not enjoying anything from that which you gifted to him. But this is not a problem. It's up to him. Once you gift it to him, if he wants to come claim it, he can come claim it. It's not yours anymore. Right. It's not in your, even though that is in your property, right? But you're not the legal halachic, right? Kaddish. Kevan. Kevan de be'emet hanochri qana kol ze kefi hadin, because realistically the non-Jew, right, got the ownership of all your chametz b'derech mechira, by selling, or b'derech matana, by gifting it. Be'ezrat Hashem, may Hashem help us that we sell our chametz properly through a good agent, that these days are the rabbis of the community, to the non-Jew. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen v'amen.